Confused about what career to choose? Not quite sure of the range of study and work options compatible with your personality, aptitude and interests? Welcome to Career Café for a ringside view of an exciting career each week. Together, we shall explore the pros and cons, the ins and outs, the programs and prospects, all the stuff you need to make an informed and successful career choice. Hi, I'm your host and career guide Parveen Malhotra, and on the menu today we have careers in actuarial science. Combine the skills of a statistician, an economist and a financier with the knowledge of law, marketing and management, and what you get is an actuary who forms the backbone of the insurance business. Since the actuary's judgment is heavily relied upon, his career or her career path often leads to upper management and executive positions in the insurance as well as wider business sector. And to tell us all about this hot and rewarding field is Nikhil Gupta, a qualified actuary from the Institute of Actuaries of India and the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries UK. While pursuing his course at the Institute of Actuaries of India, Nikhil also won the Meena Sidhwani Award, which till date has been awarded to only 7 other actuaries. A BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, Nikhil did his Masters in Actuarial Management from the Cass Business School, London. Having worked in London, Singapore and Delhi, he is armed with extensive global experience in various domains of general insurance. As an appointed actuary in the Oriental Insurance Limited, Nikhil is presumably the youngest individual to have been appointed in a PSU's general management cadre. Welcome to Career Café, Nikhil. What a pleasure. So tell me, what is an appointed actuary?
An appointed actuary is a person appointed by the regulator, the Insurance Regulator Development Authority, with an insurance company, and he is the main contact point with the regulator,
with IRDA and the company.
Yes.
Okay.
But he's on the on the management of the company, and he has to ensure that all the policyholder interests are met while designing any policy, while reserving for claims, so that policyholder is not suffering in the end.
So, along with one appointed actuary in a company,
Yep.
there could be other actuaries
Yes,
as well.
yes,
Really?
yes.
So, for instance, at Oriental, how large is your team?
So I have a team of 6 people working under me. So we have students at various levels. So some students have done 2 papers, some are doing 9 papers, and they're in the journey of becoming a qualified actuary. Yes.
Now, what happens? I am told that the process is very tough. I mean, lots of people, several thousand,
Yes.
are enrolled with the insurance, with this company, with this institute.
Yes.
So how many thousand?
So around 9,000 students are enrolled with the Institute of Actuaries of India, and till date we have around 275 qualified actuaries.
So far, that is it.
That is it.
It's,
yes.
And these are 275 practicing actuaries or the total number?
The qualified actuaries from the Institute of Actuaries of India.
All right. So out of these, the
some are in the
functioning and performing ones would be even...
Like functioning would be around 50% of them in the consulting capacity, around 50% of them in the insurance sector and consultancy services.
Oh, I see. So it's a very small number, naturally.
It is.
They say that the money in this field is fantastic. You can virtually write your paycheck. Is that true?
It's risk and reward kind of thing. So obviously it's demand supply. 275 people. Obviously the salary does culminate into a fancy number, but it requires that effort also to become a qualified person and command that salary.
So tell me, I mean, there's a lot of, sort of, it's a gray area. People don't know very much even about actuarial science.
Yes.
They know about insurance and insurance agents.
Right.
So tell us a little. I mean, within actuarial science comes the actuary, and who else?
So within actuarial science, it's obviously a profession who makes actuaries. It's like chartered accountancy making CAs, actuarial science making actuaries.
Right.
And actuaries are working, they call them as making financial sense of future. So they apply their actuarial techniques, probability and statistics to come up with a financial impact of uncertain events which will occur in future. So for example, you are buying an insurance policy, so that will pay you in future that you don't know if an event would occur. So actuarial science is basically creating risk professionals, so to say. They are moving into banking sector, insurance sector,
even
pension,
large businesses.
even large businesses. Anywhere where a risk is involved,
Yes.
actuaries can provide their services. Put a quantitative number on a qualitative aspect.
So before an insurance company launches a product,
Yes.
it's the actuary's assessment
Exactly,
that
yeah.
will decide what the premium is going to
The
be.
premium is
etc.
going. So appointed actuary needs to certify the premiums, and he has to give a certificate that the product would be financially viable product. The company won't make undue losses, and the policy holder won't be paying undue premium for the risk he's giving to the company.
Oh, I see. Oh, I
Yes.
see. So that's
So that
such a
onus
critical.
lies with the
Yes.
with the
So
appointed
say
actuary.
for a particular product,
Yep.
I mean, how many months of work goes in?
So if it's a new product, then we'll have to do some market analysis. If we don't have any data from the past on what to work with, it might take some like few months to deal with the marketing people, collect more information, do a comparison with other competitors in the market. If it's a revision of old product or a similar product, then we can use our historical data, and we assume past is a good indicator for future.
Yes, yes.
So assuming and applying our techniques, we can come up with a product relatively sooner in a revision, but new product might take some time.
So what are the skills that are essential to this profession? It's number crunching.
Yeah,
yes.
you need to love numbers.
Okay.
So my day in and day out, I have to look at numbers, work with numbers, apply some techniques onto it. You need to have logic, business sense. So as an actuary, you need to communicate what numbers say to a non-technician people, how it qualifies into a financial, So you need to be a good communicator, a logical thinker, and a flair for numbers.
And when we say flair for numbers,
Yes.
is it pure mathematics? Is it applied mathematics like statistics?
It's
What is
more
it?
of statistics and probability. And I won't say you need to be a very core mathematical theorems kind of a
Yes,
person.
or an abstract
Yes,
mathematician.
yes, yes. So
no.
you need to have a flair for numbers in terms of what does variance mean, or what kind of risk is there in any kind of situation. So you just need to have a logic behind numbers. So it need not be a core mathematical thing, but you should not be afraid of alpha, beta, gamma, or seeing too many numbers in a spreadsheet. So because you need to build models, look at past data, project some things. So it's more about not to be afraid of numbers.
So how does one go about? Let's run our young viewers through the process.
Right.
So if you want today, I mean, it's a little different from the time when you entered the field.
Yes, yes.
Now there's an entrance exam.
Exactly.
Right.
So because it's very easy to enter the profession.
Yes.
So anyone could enroll into the profession. So a lot of students who enrolled in the profession didn't go in the way, or the journey was a bit difficult for them, and it was creating more trouble for the institute in terms of managing so many students. So they introduced a actuarial common entrance test.
ACAT.
Yes, ACET.
Yeah.
So now it's exam which tests your basic statistical knowledge and numerical skills
So of what level?
of basically 10th to 12th kind
That's
of level.
it?
Yeah, very basic.
Okay.
And it basically is an entrance test to test whether you will be suitable to enter into the first series of exams.
Okay.
It's conducted twice in a year.
Yes.
And students who appear for the ACET can be anyone who has passed 12th standard, and even an MBA or a CA or an engineer needs to appear for the ACET exam.
It's a computer-based exam.
Yes,
isn't
it's a
it?
computer-based exam. It's held across many cities in India.
Yes.
And once the result is out, students who have qualified in the ACET exam can become a member of student
member
of the institute,
Okay.
and then start appearing for the exams. There are 15 set of exams which a student needs to appear and to become a qualified actuary. And the 15 exams are split into 4 different stages. So the first stage is core technical series, which is testing your technical skills in terms of statistics, in terms of mathematics, financial mathematics. So those set of exams are the one which takes most of your time, and 9 papers in one series. And then there are 3 papers in the second series. Further, then you need to take your specialization. And once you choose your specialization, you then have
So what are these specializations?
So in the actuarial science gambit, we have 6 specializations. First is the health insurance,
Okay.
life insurance, general insurance, pensions, finance, and investments.
So yours is general insurance.
Mine is general insurance. And there's a new field which is coming up, which is called enterprise risk management. So that's a separate qualification under the actuarial science gambit, which is called certified enterprise risk actuary. So that's also part of the one of the specialization. So you out of these 7, you choose 2 specialization, and then going forward you have to qualify yourself as one subject
specialist.
So I qualified in the general insurance space.
Okay. So tell me now, so what you're saying is that virtually anyone who's completed his 10+2 can take the entrance exam and alongside doing the bachelor's or master's continue with that.
And it's not necessary that you have to qualify all 15 exams before getting a job. While doing your exams, you can take up a job in actuarial profession.
That's what I wanted to ask you. That what happens if, I've just given 4 or 5?
Yes. So it's not necessary to clear all 15. You appear for a few exams. There are employers who take freshers without papers. They take people with few papers, 4 papers, 9 papers, depends. So it's not only about papers, it's also about the communication skills, your logical thinking of, how your bent of mind is. And depending on that, you can enter into any company, and company supports you in giving exams. They give you annual increments, exam increments, study leaves. So they help you in giving exams and reward you for passing the papers. So it's a holistic experience for the company as well as for the student. And then it's a matching kind of a scenario. You cannot be a qualified actuary without experience, and there's no fun in being a very senior guy without having papers. So they need to go hand in hand.
Right. So now suppose someone has just passed 4 or 5 papers. What sort of work would he be doing?
So in the Indian capacity, there are 3 different domains where a person can work in. So he can work with a direct insurance company. He can work with one of the consultancies, and he can work in the extended offices of US, UK and European companies who have set up in India. So a lot of work is being generated by these extended offices. Right. So as a person who has completed 4 papers, he obviously needs to build his technical skills, and these companies are obviously doing more of the technical work. So they get recruited in these companies or at junior level.
Are there lots of such companies?
There are quite a few in India now. And with the FDI sector now, insurance sector opening up further, we are expecting more development.
More than that. We'll take a short break here, but when we return, we'll continue to look at the outlook and prospects. So stay right there. Welcome back to Career Café. We're looking at careers in actuarial science, and with us is Nikhil Gupta, Appointed Actuary, Oriental Insurance. Yes, Nikhil, we were discussing just before the break that even if you have if you've cleared a few papers, there's still hope. You can join an actuarial company and then
take the journey along.
And take the journey along. But the number that finally managed to clear is very, very small. So what is it that's so tough about this exam?
See, exams are tough, and a lot of practical knowledge is required when you are appearing for the exams. It's just the nature of the exam that they are difficult, and it's not that easy to just go through them. It's
so
not, you don't have a pass mark.
And you have to take them in groups, so even if nothing
you
like
can take
that.
one exam at a time, that's at your own pace.
And you can take it again if you're not able to. Is there a time limit, an age limit?
No,
none of
there's
that.
no limit. If you qualify within 5 years, there's an award from the institute that they give you, like the Meena Sidhwani award.
That was the award that you got. Wonderful. So you must have burnt midnight oil, no?
Yes, I was doing it, and while working, obviously you have to take the exam time out for managing it. But the pleasure of qualification is more, much better than the pain that we have gone through.
That's true.
And now no more studying anymore. So yeah, obviously pleasure is more than the pain.
It's compensated, and that's true. So tell me, what is the actual career path? You start off doing what, and then you go on to do what, and you end up doing what?
Okay, so you start up as like an actuarial student or actuarial trainee in one of the companies. And you will be doing more of the data stuff, cleaning data and arranging data, And obviously, depending on the specialization you have taken, for example, you joined a pension company or a life company, you'll be doing, the technical work around
related to
to that industry.
Okay.
And once you have got experience in the technical side of things, then you'll start moving into the business side of things. So you will be, moving into a domain of making the numbers make some financial decisions. So you'll become part of the management team. So that's how you proceed into the next level of.
So typically, how long does it take? I mean,
so it can take from like 3 to 5 years, depending on where you are in your exams capacity and where you are in your professional capacity.
Right.
Some people are good with numbers; they don't want to move into the business side of things. Some people are not that great with numbers, but they are able to make business sense of numbers. So they obviously depends where the person is suited, and obviously with exams they will move into the management level where they'll be contributing into the designing of policies and contributing to the financials of the company. And simultaneously, if you are increasing in your exams, then you become qualified actuary, and then you are handling a team of student actuaries who are working with you in developing the products, doing reserving, capital modeling.
So all the people who work, say, in your department, are people who are students of actuarial science, nobody else?
No, there are other people who are not students of actuarial science. They are working in risk management type of domain.
Okay. So what sort of backgrounds would they bring?
So they could be MBA in insurance, or they could be engineer, they could be chartered accountants, MSc, BSc stats, because it's not necessary to be working in an actuarial team without doing papers, but it's beneficial if you're doing papers.
Okay. Right, you know that you understand the context in which you're working.
Exactly, because if you have chosen a career, then you should be doing the professional qualification along with it.
And I was reading somewhere that there's a virtual industry that has sprung up as to coach students who are enrolled for this. Is that necessary?
No, it is not necessary to take coaching from any institute, so to say, but it does help. But there are not many institutes providing coaching. There's no qualified professionals who are giving coaching in the actuarial space.
So it's just teaching shops.
Kind of.
So
it does help because there's no classroom coaching available for this profession. So if student can get help from somewhere, why not take it? But it's not that, it won't be much useful if you are. So if you
end of the day, it's about you.
Yes.
End
so
of the day.
If you are committed to the profession, you have the, the brain that needs to be developed for this profession, then you will do it yourself.
But suppose you're enrolled, you said there are no classroom sessions that are held. Now suppose a student faces some problem, doesn't understand. Is there a mechanism by which he can get to the institute and they could clarify?
There are some counseling sessions after the exams that are held. So if you appear for an exam, you're not able to pass it. For few exams, the institute conducts a counseling session.
Oh, I see.
You can be part of that. And otherwise, you can have your own, students from different cities can have their own group to discuss some problems.
Yes, and they must be online forums.
Exactly, yes.
As well. So now if somebody very early on has decided that this is the field that he or she is moving into, then what sort of courses at the undergraduate or master's level would be, more in sync with what you'd be studying?
So statistics is one area, obviously, which can help you in relating to the actuarial profession. Mathematics does help. Computer science will help.
Okay. So now tell me. So say these trainees that you take in, what sort of stipend, etc., are these? Do these kids get?
It varies from company to company. Like in the public sector, it's around 20,000 per month kind of thing. In private sector, it could be 3 to 5 lakhs per annum kind of thing.
Okay.
And as you progress with exams, obviously the remuneration increases.
Every time you clear an exam you get a little raise.
Plus, with experience, obviously you'll have your own increments, the annual increments.
Right.
But the exponential salary growth would happen with exams.
Yes.
So the starting might be low, but it will
because
increase.
You're learning on the job.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
You're being paid to learn.
Exactly.
Yes. So tell me something now before we close. Tell me about the future. Tell me about the scope of this profession. I mean, what sort of requirement do you see for actuaries in the future?
Actuaries will have a bright future. There's a role of actuaries is expanding. They were limited to the insurance domain. Now the sector opened up a decade back. the role of actuaries increased. People have seen the visibility of actuaries.
Yes.
And now with the FDI coming in, more, sector emerging risks are coming in. People need to quantify them. So actuaries will explore their different options and move into the domains. So the future is bright, but one word of caution is, if you decide to come into the actuarial science profession, then be committed to it, because it's a profession that will take some time and energy from you. And if you stop midway, probably it might be a...
So your word of caution was that it's going to take a long while,
Yes.
so not to lose patience. It's not something that happens कि आपने 2 साल में MBA करा और आपको
yes,
job
yes,
हो गया,
yes,
ये
yes,
नहीं
yes,
होगा. Time लगेगा, वक्त लगेगा, आपको really committed रहना है.
Stay committed and stay focused.
Stay committed and stay focused.
Yes.
So nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, if you want something wow, then that's the kind of time. So it's almost like going into the medical profession.
It is.
No,
yes,
I mean, it can take even 9 years.
But I don't want to compare medical and actuarial science.
No, obviously not. But there are certain professions जहाँ वक्त लगता है, लेकिन फिर retirement age नहीं होती.
Yes, no
है ना?
retirement.
It's not a youth-centric career.
Yes,
I mean, you are one of the youngest actuaries, but I mean, you could go on and on.
Yes.
Till you can crunch. So thank you so much, Nikhil. That was so encouraging, and for giving all your tips and advice. Lovely having you on the show.
Same here.
And with that, we wrap up today's show here. If you have any suggestions, any valuable tips for improving this program, please email us on careercafélstv@gmail.com. Next week, we'll look at yet another super career. And talking of risks, let me leave you with a thought. Don't be afraid of taking risks. If you succeed, you'll be happy. If you fail, well, you'll be smarter. Remember, no risk, no reward. So bye for now and be your best.